All in his new memoir, Every Little Step. What's your most cherished memory with Whitney?
She was a terrific woman in every aspect of her being. She was a magnificent mother and a magnificent woman.
When you have substance abuse in your partners, do you take any guilt?
I think you have to feel a little bit of guilt. It took us separating and us having to find ourselves in order to become better.
You also lost your daughter,
Yeah.
Bobbi Kristina, in 2015. Now,
There's really no words to express how it feels. Handling it it's hard every day.
is there a wrongful death suit going on?
There is a wrongful death suit going on. I really feel there was something that happened in that house that I don't know, but Nick knows.
Plus,
It was a ghostly person.
you had sex with the ghostly person.
Yes. Well, I had no choice. I was mounted.
Oh, she mounted you.
Yes.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now, and Bobby Brown joins us from New York. He's the R&B music star. Bobby, of course, found global success as both a solo artist and a member of the group New Edition. He's also the ex-husband of the late, great Whitney Houston, who died tragically in 2012, just days before the Grammy Awards. Bobby is here to talk about his new book, Every Little Step, in which he's chosen to come forward about the highs and lows of his career, as well as the life and loss of both Houston and their daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who sadly also passed away last year at the age of 22. Why did you write this?
I've done so much in my life, and I've had so many tragedies, from losing my father, my mother, my ex-wife, of course, and my daughter. I couldn't have wrote it 10 years ago, you know. Right now, I think I'm in a great place mentally and spiritually, and I just had to, get all of the cobwebs out, all of the things that has kept me from focusing on what is important in life.
So was it cathartic?
It was definitely that. It was therapeutic for me.
Hard?
Very hard. But, at the same time, I think it enlightened me to know exactly what I've been through since I was a baby, all the way up until now. So it gives me a sense of comfort to know that I'm a better man today than I was, say, 5 years ago.
When you write your own book and work with it on your own, you learn things about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do.
How did you meet Whitney?
We met at a Soul Train Music Awards. I was sitting in the front row, and the Winans were sitting in back of me, and she walked up and she was talking to the Winans, and she just kept bumping me and just kept bumping me and bumping me. And I looked back and I asked her, I said, "Why do you keep bumping me?" She said, "Because I want to."
Wow.
And from that moment on, things just sparked, and.
What was she like as a mother and a wife? I know you got divorced, so divorces are never happy.
She was as beautiful as a woman as she is on the outside. She was the same on the inside.
I liked her a lot.
Oh, my God.
And boy, could she sing.
There's no other voice like her.
None. So what went wrong?
Lots of things go wrong in marriages. A lot of things went wrong, but there was a lot of things that was right. So I don't blame anybody or anything. Some people just grow apart, and we just grew apart.
Did you remain friends?
Yes, we did. Yeah, definitely.
Did you talk to her short before she died?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
How soon?
Not the day before she died, but maybe a week, I say, before.
All right, she died, obviously had a drug problem, right? Were you shocked? Or did you also say, I knew she had problems?
Well, she was working on herself. And this disease that we have, I also have the same disease. And it takes every day working on it. And you have to really, really work on it on an everyday basis. And, I don't know what happened,
Where were you?
She was definitely working on it.
I was in the hotel.
And she was definitely fighting.
I was at Clive Davis's party that night.
Uh-huh.
And I was in the Beverly Hilton.
Wow.
When she died. Where were you?
I was in Jackson, Mississippi, I believe.
You had a phone call?
Yeah. I got a phone call. Actually, a brother of mine, Ralph Tresvan, let me know that what happened. It was right after a sound check and right before the concert. We had went out and grabbed something to eat. I hate to say it, I think it was Applebee's. And right before we walked in, he told me, and I don't know about anybody else, but when you get devastating news like that, you lose it. It was like my heart dropped out of my chest.
Did you work that night?
Yes, I was.
You did?
Yes, I did. I was able to still work.
When you have substance abuse in your partners, do you take any guilt? Do you feel any guilt?
I think you have to feel a little bit of guilt. When you're both trying to get well, and you're working hard at getting well, and one is getting well, but the other isn't, and the other one is getting well, then the other one
picking up.
It's just it's like this, and I think we were no good for each other at that point, of our addictions, and it took us separating and us having to find ourselves in order to become better.
What do you think her legacy is?
She's the greatest vocalist that's ever graced song. That voice of hers, she is the voice. When they show that television show, The Voice, they're talking about Whitney Houston.
When you were doing narcotics, did you also perform while addicted? I
had to.
Never
went on stage high.
Never?
No.
Whitney also?
I've never seen her go on stage high. She's always been the adamant performer. She was always wanted to be perfect when she walked on that stage. So drugs wasn't a part of that.
But she might do drugs right after she got off.
I wouldn't want to say that.
If you're an addict, you're an addict.
You're an addict, you're an addict. You're right. But it takes every day. It's like I said, it's a struggle.
How long have you been sober?
I've been sober 12 years now.
But you still consider yourself an addict, right?
I still consider I am. It's a disease. You have to.
My conversation with Bobbi Brown, the book is Every Little Step. We'll be right back after the break. We're back with Bobbi Brown. What a book, Every Little Step. You also lost your daughter, Bobbi Kristina, in 2015. Now, there is nothing, I would guess, worse in the world than the loss of a child.
Nothing.
How have you handled this?
There's really no words to express how it feels. Handling it's hard every day. It gets harder every day. Just missing her and looking into her siblings' eyes and their faces and
she has how many? How many kids do you have?
I have 7. Well, 6, but one more on the way.
I saw your little daughter. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just looking in their faces helped me cope with it. The strength that they have and the love that they felt for their sister and they still feel for their sister holds me, and they keep me strong, and I'm the parent, but they keep me strong.
You had difficulties with her though, didn't you?
Not really difficulties. I mean, we was after the divorce, we were, separated. She was with her mom and she sided with her mom at the time. But the few short months, before she passed, we rekindled we got closer. After her mom passed, I was just trying to be there for her. And, she was mourning and I was mourning at the same time. And
what was she like, Bobbi?
Bobbi Chris, oh my God. She was just a joy. She was a bundle of joy to be around. The smile. She loved entertaining. She loved to sing.
Did you know she was a drug user?
No, not really, no.
So you had to be...
I know she smoked cigarettes. That's what I knew she did,
Now, there's a great deal of speculation, I understand, surrounding her death, and you believe that her boyfriend, Nick Gordon, was somehow responsible?
Well, there's an ongoing investigation about that, and I'm gonna let the DA do what his job is and do what he has to do.
You think he should be charged criminally?
I really would think they need to finish their investigation.
All right. His lawyer says we completely think that Nick is innocent of any wrongdoing. He hasn't been charged, and it's all baseless. Do you keep in touch with him at all?
No, definitely not.
Where were you when your daughter died?
I was on tour again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where were you? What city?
When she passed, or when it happened, when she was found. When she
yeah,
was found, yeah, there's two different things. 2 days before the incident, she was on her way out to Los Angeles to visit me and to come spend some time with her, her younger brother and her other siblings. And I was just, I was so anticipating her getting there. But, what happened is what happened. And from that point, it was just was rough. Seeing my daughter there and being a parent and not being able to help her was the worst feeling, I think, in the world for me.
You had no idea she had a problem?
No, not at all.
Wow. Don't tell me, did you perform that night too?
No, I did not.
You can't, a father can't go on after that. Is there a wrongful death suit going on?
There is a wrongful death suit going on that the estate of my daughter took out, and I joined in because I really feel there was something that happened in that house that I don't know, but Nick knows. And that's the first time I've said his name.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think he knows what happened?
He definitely knows. Him and the other two people that were in that house know what happened. And, like I said, I'm going to let the DA do his job. And I'm just going to sit and wait because that's all I can do.
Whitney and her daughter, they were very close?
Very, very. They're like sisters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She was very pretty too, right?
Yes, definitely.
More with Bobbi Brown. The book is Every Little Step. We'll be right back. We're back with Bobbi Brown. His book is Every Little Step. In the book, you're very candid about the relationship between the Houston and the Brown family. You say the Houstons try to keep you away from your daughter.
Yes.
Why?
Do not know.
You ask them?
You know what? It'll be a question that probably wouldn't be answered in the way that I want it to be answered. But I just don't think that they try to encourage her to see me or spend more time with me after the death of her mother. It was like they kept her away from me. That's what I felt. I mean, for her to be shooting a television show when 2 weeks after her mother's death is just ridiculous to me.
As you began to tell the story, namely Whitney's mother, Sissy, you called your recent interview. You did an interview with Robin Roberts on ABC, and they said it was disturbing, their family, and they said she wished Whitney was alive to able to respond. What was the difficulty?
I don't know what the difficulty. I think Miss Houston is going through the same thing I'm going through. We both lost two people that we truly, genuinely love.
She lost her daughter.
She lost her daughter and her granddaughter. I lost a very good friend, my ex-wife, and I lost my baby. And we are both going through the same thing. So the way she feels is what she feels, and I can only respect that. And the way I feel is what I feel, because
Can't you sit down?
This is what my life has been. It's been, I mean, this is what I've gone through in my life, from day one of my life, all the way to right now, to this book being out. It's been my life that I'm trying to talk about. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm just telling you what my life has been like.
There's no way you could sit down with the Houston family and resolve this? I mean, you both had great loss. So you have a bind.
I would love to.
When you make overtures, can you call them and say, let's sit down? Would you do that?
Of course, I would try.
Have you tried?
No, I haven't.
So I'm not a doctor.
Right.
Bobby,
I feel like you're
boy.
my psychiatrist right now.
Why not try? I mean, isn't it better to try than not to try?
I've reached out several times before, but there's no love lost from me. I respect and love that whole family, and I would hope they know that. but my life has to go on, and I have to, stay well.
You got responsibilities.
I do have 6 other children to raise.
Your wife now,
Yes.
who is she and what's she like?
My wife now is Alicia Etheridge Brown.
Is she a performer?
No, she's not. She's actually a entertainment manager, and we manage my career, and she runs the company. She runs Bobbi Brown Foods. She runs Bobbi Brown Foods. I have a food line where I created barbecue sauces. I created seasonings and fried chicken mix. Right now, it's actually just online, BobbiBrownFood.coms. And she's just on. She's just on all the time. She's a busybody. Even at 8 months pregnant, she's a busybody.
I know. I saw her on the plane. She's very, very nice. So you're going to record again?
Definitely recording again. Looking forward to it. To putting something out maybe sometime in the fall of this year. But really just, get the message of this book out there.
Which is?
Because I think I can help a lot of people.
What's the message?
The message is life is not easy, but you gotta stand up, and fight to live healthy. And that's the one thing I've been able to do in my life is through tragedy and through every obstacle that I've been through, I've been able to stand up. I've been able to stand up and hold my head up and be proud of myself and be proud that that I can change, I don't have to be the person that everybody looks at and says, this is him.
You're much more content with yourself now.
Yes, I am, sir.
What do you make of the music business you're going back into?
Woo,
with rap, hip-hop, and R&B?
I think it's a strange new business, but I think it's more controllable for the artist because the artist definitely has more control because of social media. So it's not as difficult as it used to be.
But they don't make as much in record sales, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No. It's all downloads, and you got to give an album away in order to tour. Touring is everything, and that's the one thing that I know I'm great at, and I love doing. I love being on stage. It's just like something clicks in me as soon as I walk to the side of that stage. Something clicks, and that's why they call me the bad boy.
Our final moments with Bobbi Brown, the book Every Little Step. We'll be right back. We're back with Bobbi Brown. The book is Every Little Step. You were invited to a party at Michael Jackson's house in the early 80s where you met Jane? You met Janet.
When I met Janet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago. I was with New Edition at that time, and he invited us to his house to hang out, and he loved the song Candy Girl, and he invited us over, and that's where I first met Janet. Yes.
Fall in love with her?
Oh, I was in love with her way before that. I was in love with her when she was on Good Times and playing Penny, I was totally infatuated.
I like her. She's terrific.
Yes, she is.
She broke your heart?
Yes.
She broke it off?
Desperately.
She broke it off?
She did it, yeah. It was so long ago, though,
Are you friends now?
I haven't spoken to her in a while, but as far as I know, we are.
I can't wait to read this book. They tell me there's a story in the book, it's hard to ask it, about you having sex with a ghost.
Oh, boy, yeah. But this was at a time when I was filming Ghostbusters, the movie Ghostbusters.
You were in the original?
I had a small part in
I was
part
in the original. Oh, part two.
Part two. And I played the doorman of the mayor. And but I bought this house in Atlanta, Georgia, which was owned by who they say the porn king was at the time, who sold it to the waterbed king. And it was just a spooky house, really spooky house. And yeah, I actually woke up into some would call I guess a wet dream, but it was, it was what it was.
Someone, a girl there?
I really saw someone.
Was it a ghost or like a person?
It was a ghostly person.
And you had sex with the ghostly person?
Yes. Well, I had no choice. I was mounted.
Oh, she mounted you?
Yes, and it was,
Well, now, wait a minute. After this occurred, Bobbi.
Yeah.
Did you say something's crazy going on?
I didn't like that house anymore. At all.
Did you leave soon after?
I did leave soon after that.
Did you ever find out who the ghost was?
No, I did not.
Ever had another ghost in your life?
No, no more ghosts. No more ghosts.
But that had to be an amazing
Oh
experience.
my God! And it wasn't. I don't want to say it wasn't a dream, but it felt real as we are sitting here across from each other.
We have a couple social media questions. Jackie Barber on Twitter. Do you consider yourself retired from music?
No, never.
You're coming back?
Yes, I will.
You will do a tour?
I will be touring again really soon. Right now I'm just doing one-offs every other weekend.
Doing what?
One-offs, like show here, show there.
Go to Vegas? Or?
Yeah, like, play, different places, but a show, on the weekends. I like to be home and cooking for my family and being there with my kids.
Corey Anderson on the Larry King Now blog. Who would you list as your career mentor?
It's a toss-up between Stevie Wonder, Rick James, Michael Jackson, Prince, all of them, all of the above. I mean, I've looked up to all of them, and I've had time to sit down and conversate with all of them. So it's been a long road, But Rick
Prince?
James was the one that really
Influence you?
influenced me. He taught me how to play the bass. We was on tour when we was younger. So as I grew older and older, he was just, he was always in my head trying to tell me the right way to go. I still hear him today.
The loss of Prince had to be devastating.
It was, definitely. Because that was the one person that I didn't get a chance to work with, that I had big plans to work with him in the near future for this next album. And unfortunately, I won't get that chance now.
Abigail Chosen on Facebook. What's your most cherished memory with Whitney?
The birth of our child.
Were you there at the birth?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Bigger than big, stronger than strong.
And you say Whitney was a terrific mother.
She was, yeah. She was a terrific woman.
Even while addicted, she was...
She was a terrific woman in every aspect of her being. She was a magnificent mother and a magnificent woman. I only wish that for every man on this earth to have a woman that is like Whitney.
How did you get through your addiction? You've been sober now 12 years.
Yes.
Did you get help?
I actually had to go to jail. I went to jail, and once I got out, I just really realized that is not for me. And staying sober is probably the hardest thing in the world, but it's an everyday process.
You want something every day?
No. I don't want for it anymore. My addiction now are my kids. My addiction now is the love of my beautiful wife, and seeing her face and seeing her smile and trying to be a better man so that, she can appreciate who I am. And I hope she does.
You were arrested for what?
DUI. And, I violated probation and had to go to jail and, pay my debt to society. And it was a great debt because it helped me out a lot.
Boy, as you look back at your life,
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Do you feel?
I feel wonderful.
Really?
Because I've gotten everything out. I've gotten everything out, so I feel I can start anew. I feel like,
So the
I've
book
had
has...
like 3 chances at life. This is the one chance that I'm gonna take full advantage of.
I have no doubt you will. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, my friend.
Big thanks to my guest, Bobbi Brown. Be sure to get a copy of his new book, going to be a major seller. Every Little Step is out now. As always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. See you next time. On Larry King Now, Bobbi Brown tells all in his new memoir, Every Little Step. What's your most cherished memory with Whitney?
She was a terrific woman in every aspect of her being. She was a magnificent mother and a magnificent woman.
When you have substance abuse in your partners, do you take any guilt?
I think you have to feel a little bit of guilt. It took us separating and us having to find ourselves in order to become better.
You also lost your daughter,
Yeah.
Bobbi Kristina, in 2015 now.
There's really no words to express how it feels. Handling it's hard every day.
Is there a wrongful death suit going on?
There is a wrongful death suit going on. I really feel There was something that happened in that house that I don't know, but Nick knows.
Plus,
It was the ghostly person.
you had sex with the ghostly person.
Yes. Well, I had no choice. I was mounted.
Oh, she mounted you.
Yes.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now, and Bobbi Brown joins us from New York. He's the R&B music star. Bobbi, of course, found global success as both a solo artist and a member of the group New Edition. He's also the ex-husband of the late, great Whitney Houston, who died tragically in 2012, just days before the Grammy Awards. Bobbi is here to talk about his new book, Every Little Step, in which he's chosen to come forward about the highs and lows of his career, as well as the life and loss of both Houston and their daughter, Bobbi Kristina, who sadly also passed away last year at the age of 22. Why did you write this?
I've done so much in my life, and I've had so many tragedies, from losing my father, my mother, my ex-wife, of course, and my daughter. I couldn't have wrote it 10 years ago, you know. Right now, I think I'm in a great place mentally and spiritually, and I just had to, get all of the cobwebs out, all of the things that has kept me from focusing on what is important in life.
So was it cathartic?
It was definitely that. It was therapeutic for me.
Hard?
Very hard. But, at the same time, I think it enlightened me to know exactly what I've been through since I was a baby, all the way up until now. So it gives me a sense of comfort to know that I'm a better man today than I was, say, 5 years ago.
When you write your own book and work with it on your own, you learn things about yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do.
How did you meet Whitney?
We met at a Soul Train Music Awards. I was sitting in the front row, and the Winans was sitting in back of me, and she walked up and she was talking to the